The town of Abaoku was alive that afternoon. Traders shouted, buses honked, women bargained in Igbo and English. But one corner of the market always drew the biggest crowd: Mama Ifeoma's food joints. Men in fine shirts, apprentices in dirty singlets, women returning from farms, even school children with a few naira, all of them lined up with their plates.
Madam Ifeoma, give me extra meat too.
One man said, grinning. Another laughed, chewing loudly.
Her rice no dey ever finish. I dey even wonder how she dey cook am.
Her stew was thick, her jollof bright red, her egusi rich with flavor. No one else in the whole of Aboku could compete. But while people praised, others whispered. Near the queue, two women bent their heads close.
Have you noticed?
One muttered.
Noticed what? Those who eat here, some of them no dey chop anywhere else again. They keep coming back morning, afternoon, even night. Now only her food dey enter them.
The other frowned.
And after some weeks, they begin to look sick, thin, weak. Before you know it,
she lowered her voice.
They die.
Chinedu, an Okada rider, overheard as he bought his own plate. His brows knitted. He looked at Mama Ifeoma, a plump, quiet widow, always smiling faintly, serving food with her daughter Amaka by her side. She looked harmless.
Could such a woman truly be hiding something?
But then, something strange happened right before his eyes. A man in his 40s, a trader, rushed forward, his eyes bloodshot.
Mama Ifeoma, rice! Give me rice now!
He shouted, shaking. His voice was desperate, almost mad. She quickly scooped food into a plate. He grabbed it, shoving handfuls into his mouth before even sitting down. Rice spilled down his chin, his fingers shaking as if he hadn't eaten in days. The crowd murmured uneasily. Minutes later, as he ate, his body convulsed. His plate fell, scattering rice across the ground. His eyes bulged as he clutched his stomach, screaming,
Give me more! I need more food! Mama Ifeoma, please!
The market froze. People stared as foam dripped from his mouth. His body shook violently, then collapsed, lifeless, right in front of her shop. Silence fell. Only the hiss of stew bubbling in the pot filled the air. Mama Ifeoma stood still, her face unreadable. Then she slowly whispered,
Somebody help me carry him.
But no one moved. All eyes shifted between the dead man on the floor and the steaming pots behind her. The death in Mama Ifeoma's shop spread across Aboku like wildfire. By evening, tongues wagged in every compound. Some swore the man was poisoned. Others whispered it was a spiritual attack. But the strangest part, even after a customer collapsed and died in front of her store, people still lined up the next morning for her food. They said things like,
Na hunger kill that man, no be her food.
Her stew dey sweet pass any talk, abeg.
And true enough, her pot never emptied. That night, inside their small compound, Amaka sat watching her mother. The girl had always been warned never to go near the big black cooking pot, older than her, sitting in the corner of their kitchen. She hesitated, then asked,
Mama, why don't you ever wash the pots? Even when all the plates are clean, that pot is always left the same.
Mama Ifeoma's hand froze. Slowly she turned. Her voice was sharp, louder than Amaka had ever heard.
Never touch that pot. Never even think of it. Do you hear me?
Amaka flinched, tears in her eyes.
Yes, Mama.
But later that night, when her mother thought she was asleep, Amaka crept from her mat. Through the cracked door, she saw her mother kneeling before the pots. Not cooking, not washing, just kneeling. Her head bowed as if in prayer. The pot shimmered faintly, as though a fire burned inside, though no flame was lit. Amaka shivered and ran back to bed. Elsewhere in town, Chinedu hadn't slept either. The image of the man dying in front of the shop replayed in his mind. The man's desperate cry,
Give me more!
haunted him. That night, he passed by Mama Ifeoma's compound on his way home from a late ride. The friend's glow from her kitchen window stopped him. He parked his Okada quietly and crept closer. Through the crack, he saw what Amaka had seen. Mama Ifeoma kneeling before the black pot, whispering words too low to hear. Then Chinedu's blood ran cold. The surface of the pot began to ripple, like water disturbed by stones. Slowly, pale faces formed on it. Men, women, eyes wide, mouth open in silence. Chinedu's breath caught in his throat. He staggered back, covering his mouth so he wouldn't shout. His heart hammered like a drum. He ran blindly into the night, sweat pouring down his face. Behind him, the pot pulsed with red lights, and Mami Former's whisper grew louder.
Feed, my master. I will feed you.
The next days in Obuuku were filled with tension. Yet, despite what had happened, Mami Former's food joint was busier than ever. People queued from morning till night. Chinedu noticed something disturbing. The same faces kept showing up again and again. Traders who once ate at different stalls now ignored everyone else. Even children cried until their parents brought them to Mami Former's shop. One afternoon, Chinedu stopped his bike near the food joint and watched closely. A young woman collected her plates, sat in the corner and ate hurriedly. When her food finished, she licked her hands, breathing heavily, eyes wide. Then she whispered,
I need more.
She went back and bought again. By evening, she had eaten 3 plates, her cheeks hollow, sweat running down her face. Hours later, Chinedu heard she collapsed at home, coughing blood. His suspicion burned hotter. This was no ordinary food. At home, Amaka's health began to fail. She lost appetite for every other meal. Yam, beans, cassava. She pushed them away.
Mama, I just want the stew from the pot,
she whispered weakly. Mama Former froze. Her hand trembled. As she touched her daughter's forehead, the girl was burning with fever. That night, Mami Former locked the kitchen and fell to her knees before the pot.
Please, not my daughter. Take anyone else, but not her.
The pot glowed, a deep red pulsing through the dark room. From inside it, a voice rumbled, low and terrible. Her blood will renew the covenant. Feed her to me, or everything ends. Mami Former gasped, shaking her head. Tears ran down her face.
No, you gave me this power. You promised me wealth, not my child.
The pot shook violently. A glowing mist rose from its surface, swelling into the air. Then Amaka's face appeared faintly on the side of the pot, her mouth opening in a silent scream. At that same moment, in his small room across town, Chinedu woke up drenched in sweat. His ears rang with a strange sound. A girl's faint voice crying from the night wind.
Help me! Help me!
He rushed outside, heart pounding. The sound grew clearer, drawing his ears towards Mami Former's compound. From the dark kitchen, a faint red glow flickered, pulsing like a heartbeat. By morning, the whole town buzzed again. 2 people had collapsed overnight, both of them regular customers at Mami Former's store. One was found shivering in the gutter, muttering,
Her food! I need her food!
Until his last breath. Chinedu had had enough. He marched to the market square where Mami Former was already serving customers.
People of Obuuku,
He shouted, his voice echoing.
Can't you see? Something is wrong with this woman's food. Look at the ones who died. Look at those who can't stop eating here. Can't you see the curse?
The crowd turned, startled. Some whispered, others frowned. Mami Former's eyes flashed with anger.
Chinedu, are you mad? Because I refused you free food, you now stand here to shame me?
The crowd laughed nervously. One man shouted,
Jealousy go kill you. Now only her food they satisfy us.
Another woman hissed,
Leave the poor widow alone. You want her downfall?
Even Chief Nwokoro, who stood at the back, shook his head.
Young man, tread carefully. You can't accuse without proof.
Chinedu's fist clenched. He wanted to scream the truth about the pots, about the faces he saw, but the crowd wasn't ready to believe him. He stormed away, frustration burned in his chest. That night he lingered near Mami Former's compound. He was determined to catch her in the act. Through the crack of the window, he saw her again, kneeling before the pots. Amaka lay weak on a mat nearby, her chest rising and falling shallowly.
Mama,
the girl whispered faintly.
I am hungry. I need stew.
Mama Former sobbed, clutching her daughter's hand. Then she turned to the pot.
Please, take anyone else. Pay my child.
The pot paused violently, red glow spilling into the room. A thick black liquid began to rise inside it, boiling without fire. It spilled over, crawling across the floor like snakes, hissing as it slithered towards Amaka. Chinedu's eyes widened in horror. He stumbled back, nearly tripping over himself. The liquid crept closer to the girl, its hiss filling the night. The next morning, Oboko woke to tragedy. Chief Nwaokoro's nephew, a vibrant boy in his 20s, had died in his sleep. His lips were stained with oil, and beside him was an unfinished plate from Mama Ifeoma's shop. The chief staggered in grief, clutching his head. The whispers in town grew louder.
Why is it always her customers? These things no be ordinary again.
For the first time, doubt spread. That night, Chinedu went to the chief's house. His voice was low and urgent.
You see now, I warned you. If we don't act, more will die. She is feeding them to that pot.
The chief's jaw tightened.
If what you say is true, then tonight we end it.
Lanterns in hand, the chief, Chinedu, and a few brave men crept to Mama Ifeoma's compound. They pushed the door open and froze. Inside, Amaka lay faint on the mats, barely breathing. The pot glowed an angry red. Mama Ifeoma knelt before it, tears running down her face as she sprinkled something into its mouth. Blood from a goat she had just slaughtered.
Spare my daughter.
She begged.
Take this instead.
But the pot shook violently, rejecting the offering. Its voice rumbled like thunder. Her blood alone renews the covenant. Feed her or lose everything. The men gasped, crossing themselves in fear. The chief shouted,
So it's true. You are the reason my nephew is dead.
Mama Ifeoma turned, her eyes wide.
You don't understand. This pot saved me when my husband died. Without it, I would have starved. It gave me food. It gave me customers. It gave me life. I cannot let it go.
The pot cracked suddenly, a deep fissure running across its side. From inside came a chorus of voices. Men, women, children crying in torment. Free us! Free us! The ground trembled. The pot tipped forward, spilling thick black liquid. It spread quickly, crawling toward the men, hissing as it ate into the mud floor. The men shouted in terror, dropping their lanterns. Flames licked the walls. The flames spread quickly, licking up the wooden walls of the kitchen. The black liquid hissed, crawling like snakes towards the men. They jumped back, shouting in fear. Chinedu rushed forward, grabbed Amaka from the mat and pulled her into his arms. Her body was limp, her breath shallow.
Hold on, Amaka,
He cried. Mama Ifeoma screamed, clutching the pot as the cracks widened.
No! You will not take it from me. This pot is my life.
The spirits inside wailed louder, their faces pressing against the surface. Free us! Free us! Chief Nwaokoro grabbed a burning stick from the floor and shouted.
This must end tonight.
He hurled it at the pot. The flames wrapped around it instantly. The pot shook, glowing brighter, its voice booming. If I perish, she perishes too. Mama Ifeoma clung tighter, her face twisted in madness.
Then I perish with it.
She screamed. The pot exploded with a deafening crack. Shards of black clay flew across the room. A wave of fire and smoke rushed out, knocking everyone to the ground. From the explosion, the trapped souls burst free, rising like a storm of shadows. They wailed, their cries echoing through the night sky before fading into silence. When the smoke cleared, the shop was gone, burnt to ashes. In the center lay Mama Ifeoma's lifeless body, her arms wrapped around the shattered remains of the pot. Chinedu staggered to his feet, clutching Amaka, who coughed weakly but was alive. The men gathered around, trembling, their eyes wide with horror. Chief Nwaokoro's voice shook.
Greed destroyed her and nearly destroyed us all.
By dawn, the news had spread across Abuku. People stood before the charred ruins in silence, fear heavy in their eyes. Chinedu carried Amaka away from the ashes. She leaned weakly against him as he whispered,
you are free now. The curse is broken.
But behind them, buried deep in the rubble, one shade of the pot still glowed faintly, a whisper calling out like smoke. Feed me. Not every gift is from God. Some blessings come with hidden chains. Always test the source so you don't lose what truly matters. Hello fam, thank you for watching through to the end of this video. Please consider subscribing to our channel if you are yet to do that. Like and share this video, and until we meet on our next story, bye.